Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Divya. I'm an obstetrician and gynecologist and I'm here to answer all your questions on periods and pain. This is Periodsplaining with Vitamin 3. The first and most common question here is it safe to take painkillers for my period cramps? सदियों से बड़े हमें बोलते आ रहे हैं मेडिसिन मत लो, it's not good for you, this, that. But trust me, dealing with pain does not really make you a superwoman. Now, what kind of medicines can be taken for period pain? These are non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, other anti-inflammatory drugs, antipyretics like paracetamol. But mind you, please don't take these yourself. Talk to your healthcare provider and then go ahead and take period painkillers. Why am I in so much pain during my period? अब ये तो हर लड़की का सवाल है. Couple of theories to explain this to you. One, your uterus is contracting during your period. Now the uterus has a muscular layer. This muscular layer contracts and causes something known as vasoconstriction. Vasoconstriction is basically the narrowing of blood vessels. Now because this happens, there's less blood supply and less oxygen supply to your uterus. This ends up releasing certain chemicals which cause pain. These chemicals are known as prostaglandins. These chemicals increase the pain and also cause abdominal irritation. Now that is why you get pain during your period. In normal circumstances, this pain lasts for about 2 to 3 days starting from day 1, and it increases in intensity when there is more vasoconstriction and more bleeding. This is the phase when your uterus is trying to throw out the endometrial lining. Now if you're experiencing pain a couple of days before your period, during your period and even after your period, this is something that needs to be evaluated. What non-medical things can I do to reduce period pain? Now this is a very important question because we all resort to things around our home to reduce our period pain and we don't usually like taking painkillers. So one is heat application. So using an electrical heating pad or just a hot water bag will really help reduce your menstrual cramps. 2. Eating healthy and eating clean. Eat very healthy meals like fruits, vegetables, avoid refined sugar and avoid junk food as much as possible. 3. Take a hot water bath. This will really help you again. 4. Doing any form of exercise that you like doing and are comfortable doing during your period. Now exercise releases endorphins which eventually makes you feel much better and also reduces muscle cramp. And 5. Hydrate well. Dehydration is the worst enemy to period cramps. So have water and you're good to go. What method do you use to reduce your period pain? Tell us in the comments. How much pain is too much pain? Well, that's a very good question. Now in normal circumstances, a certain amount of pain during your period is absolutely normal. But in certain cases where you start getting period cramps way before and even after your period, this is something to be concerned about and get evaluated for. In case your period cramps are really very severe and weren't never before, this is again something to be concerned about. When talking to your healthcare provider about your period pain, you will be given a scale on which you can rate your pain from 0 to 10. 0 being no pain and 10 being pain so intense that you can't get out of bed. So my advice to you is, if you're feeling any kind of unusual excessive pain during your periods, you need to go see your doctor and talk about this. Why do I get cramps during my ovulation period? Well, there's many theories to explain this, but there's one that makes perfect sense. Now that is, during ovulation, which is basically the release of your egg from the ovary, which is basically the storehouse of your eggs, there is a little breakage of the ovarian wall. This causes a little release of fluid and also a slight amount of bleeding during ovulation period. This may lead to abdominal irritation and hence cramps. This is known as Mittelsmers syndrome and this is absolutely normal. It occurs in about 60 to 70% of girls and is nothing to really worry about. In fact, it's a good sign you're ovulating. Will drinking coffee make my pain worse? Oh God, I know how much we all crave that cappuccino and brownie on our period and during our PMS, and it's something that we really want to have. But coffee can be kafi hanikarak during your period. Basically what coffee does is, it causes vasoconstriction. Now a couple of minutes back, I told you about vasoconstriction being the reason for pain during your period. Vasoconstriction means narrowing blood vessels, which means lesser blood and oxygen supply to your uterus, which means more pain. So no, coffee on your period, not such a good idea. What can I eat or drink to reduce my period pain? अब खाना तो हमें burgers and pizzas ही है, but नहीं खा सकते. We need to have really healthy and nutritious food on our period and even a couple of days before it. When I say healthy food, I mean fruits with large numbers of antioxidants like berries, strawberries, oranges, all these are really good for you. Vegetables that are green and colorful. So all your different bell peppers, broccoli and your green leafy vegetables. And the good news here is you can definitely have dark chocolate on your period. Research says that dark chocolate really helps ease menstrual cramps. So go ahead, have your chocolate. Now when it comes to drinks, you obviously have to avoid the alcohol. Avoid caffeine because I explained why. You can have your 1 or 2 cups of tea, and green tea, especially chamomile tea, is really good for menstrual cramps. What other questions do you have about periods and pain? Ask us in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Vitamins 3.